Hi, so welcome back to Creative Faith with Makenna. If you don't know, I am Makenna, and today I'm going to share some movie recommendations, this time from Netflix. So these are going to be movies that I found to be actually pretty good on Netflix, in case that you're looking for ideas on what to watch. So the first movie I'm going to mention, I have mentioned in my other movie recommendations videos, but it's good and it's on Netflix. That's where I found it, so I wanted to mention it again. So this movie is called A Week Away, and it's basically just a fun church camp movie. There's love and friendships and just a whole bunch of fun. It's kind of like a musical, and you know, I was actually pretty surprised about how good the music is, because it's a bunch of teenagers that are acting. The acting's good. Just wanted to bring up this movie again, even though I've recommended it in my other movies. Just wanted to let you know it's on Netflix in case that you want to watch it. So this next movie is called Enola Holmes. It's also Enola Holmes 2, so second movie as well, but it might be what you're thinking it is. It's basically a Sherlock Holmes movie, but it's Enola Holmes. So in this reality, Sherlock has a younger teenage sister, Enola Holmes, and she is just as smart and skilled as he is. Basically, the movie is her trying to find her mother because she's disappeared, and she also ends up helping a runaway lord that's about a teenager as well. Enola Holmes is played by Millie Bobby Brown. You would know her from Stranger Things as the character Elle. She does a really good job. I love the narrating in this movie. It's really good, and the mysteries it's just like it's a well-told Sherlock Holmes movie with a twist because the main character is a girl. Enola just wants to solve this, outsmart her brother, and really just make a name for herself because everybody knows Sherlock Holmes. It's like a famous name, and she's just as smart and skilled as he is, and so she's trying to discover how her mother disappeared and find out the whys and the hows and all that. I also love how this is like told in like the 19th century in London, so like the time period, the clothing is authentic, and like I love like that old authentic time period. Speaking of authentic old time periods, this next movie is called Persuasion and is based on the book written by Jane Austen. This movie is about Anne Elliot and Frederick Wentworth. So they were about to get married, they were madly in love, and then Anne Elliot's family convinced her to walk away from him, because this is in a time period where you don't marry a man who's not wealthy, who cannot take care of you. Love doesn't really mean a ton in this time period. It's more like if you can find somebody that you love and they have money, well then that's great. But if you can find somebody that has money and then somebody that you love, you go with the one that has money, because you need somebody that can take care of you in this 19th century time period. Anyways, so she and him go their separate ways, and 8 years go by. 8 years, it's almost a decade, go by, and she has regretted the decision. She cannot believe that she let the man that she loved walk away. And then, like I said, it's been 8 years, and this man comes back into her life unexpectedly. So she must choose between putting the past behind her or giving herself a second chance with this man. The only thing I will say about this movie is that if you are a person that likes fast movies, this is not going to be the movie for you. This is a movie that is a lot slower. Take from that what you will. Like, I like regular speed movies, and this movie was slower, but I still watched it and I still liked it. So keep that in mind. So this next movie is a disaster apocalypse movie. It's called 2012. When an American scientist warns world leaders, they begin preparations for saving select members of society, I guess, but without telling the rest of the world what is happening. So everyone else is clueless as to this expiration date that Earth has. A father tries to lead his family to safety as the world starts to fall apart as the global catalysm occurs. So literally the world is falling apart. So yeah. This next movie is a movie that I found was really good. You could say this is another catastrophe movie, but more about what could happen right now, and it is based on a true story. So this movie is called The Impossible. Like I said, this movie is a true story, so obviously there is going to be facts that the movie adds, or things like that they kind of tweak a little bit, because that's what movies do to make it a little bit more interesting, but most of this stuff is true. On December 26, 2004, an underwater earthquake with a magnitude of like 9.1 struck off the coast of Indonesia. This resulted in a tsunami that reached out across the Indian Ocean. They say this tsunami caused one of the largest natural disasters in recorded history, so this is a big thing, killing at least 225,000 people across a dozen countries, some of which Indonesia, India, Maldives, and Thailand, sustaining massive damage. Now that I've given you some backstory, I'm going to give you the description of the movie The Impossible. So this movie is about a family, Maria, Henry, and their 3 sons, most of which like 12 and under, so young children. Well, they begin their winter vacation in Thailand, so that's great, right? It's not that year. No, the date after Christmas is December 26, 2004, and that's when this earthquake happened, and that resulted in this massive tsunami. This is the story of this family that was in the midst of this, and where so many people died. I'm going to tell you right now, this family survived. The whole family. Against like unimaginable odds. The way this movie is made is amazing. Where they are standing in the movie when this tsunami hits is where the actual people, like Maria, Henry, and their 3 sons, were standing. The movie creators asked those people to come and help with the placements to make sure that they got most things right about the movie. So I would definitely recommend watching this movie, but don't watch it on a day where you're not feeling well. I find that when I'm watching very action-based movies, I get agitated and tense because I don't want anything to happen to the main characters. Watch this on a day that you're feeling up for it, but like I said, this is an amazing movie. This next movie is a romance movie. It is called Your Place or Mine. So Debbie and Peter are best friends, but they are total opposites. So Debbie loves having a routine with her son in LA, while Peter thrives on change in New York. When they decide to switch apartments, switch places, Peter comes and takes care of her son, while Debbie goes and hangs out in his apartment in New York. It's just kind of like a breakaway from home. She's not thrilled about having to do it because she doesn't want to leave her son and she likes routine, but they made this arrangement and so they did it. So they swap lives and houses for a week. The description says, what they thought that they needed might not be what they actually need. And like I said, it's a romance. You can probably guess how things end up, but still, watching this movie would be a good idea. Oh, and Reese Witherspoon plays Debbie, the main character in this movie. This next movie is called 13 Going on 30. This is one of those movies where the main character, she's like a teenager and she wishes that she was an adult because she just hates all the drama and the awkwardness of that stage in life, and so she wishes that she was an adult with everything put together. That's what happens, and then she realizes now that she's become this adult, adulthood is not that easy. It's got its problems too, so don't wish away your childhood. This movie is a romantic comedy because she's an adult with a teenager mind, because her wish was granted overnight and she became an adult with a life. And so it's funny to see her figure out being an adult when she's still like a teenager herself. So these movies are all on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, and you might or you might not, but if you do, you can watch these movies. So we have A Week Away, which is that church camp movie I told you about, Enola Holmes, a mystery kind of movie, a Persuasion, which is a romantic movie, 2012, which is an action and a world movie, The Impossible, which is based on a true story of the Indian Ocean earthquake that impacted Thailand, 13 Going on 30, which is a grow up comedic romantic movie. Then we have Your Place or Mine, which is a romantic movie too. Let me know which movie you like in the comments, which one that stands out to you. I've watched all of them and they're all pretty good. Have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.